1% better every day. 1% better, come with me. Built with a purpose, made to rise. Created by God, right in his eyes.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dr. Rob from the 1% Better podcast. And we're here to help everyone who's listening to get better, whether it's health, relationship, friends, what you're eating, just whatever we do, your profession. We want to help you get better by showing you the struggles of our life and just being open and upfront here. So today, I have a special guest. He is my friend, my good friend from college. We used to play video games so much together where we never got anything done. And we ended up going to the same dental school. And I really respect him for that because that means he got some stuff done, which I never thought he was going to get into dental school. He probably could say the same about me, but meet Gerard Sabate.
Hey guys, how you doing? Rob, thanks for having me, especially with that intro. If the camera zooms out, I'm all about trying to get better and getting over my struggles. Yeah. So thanks for getting me out here and picking me up. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I know better mentally, spiritually, but physically too. Looks like you just broke your leg, huh?
I did. I just completely shattered my left ankle.
Can you run us through that story? Like, what happened? It looks terrible.
It is terrible. It's probably the worst injury I've had so far. It's funny because I thought, I can do dentistry. I just broke my ankle, right? But I've just spent the last 2 weeks like on my back with my foot up just to like keep swelling down so like it doesn't swell up and pop like a balloon, and then like all the tendons and all the hardware get exposed and then it gets infected. So it's like I've never been forced to stay on my back for 2 weeks. It's been pretty miserable.
So as dentists, we are like waiters. We have to kind of run through patients from room to room, make sure they're happy, make sure they're taken care of, do the procedures. So there is a lot of walking involved. So I understand how you shouldn't be walking unless you have a wheelchair or something like that. But yeah, what happened exactly? So
I know that your passion is jiu-jitsu, and my passion, if you look at my shirt, is dirt bikes.
Okay,
specifically,
that's dangerous.
It is, specifically enduro. I don't do the track stuff with the big jumps. I've done it before, but it's not my preferred. My preferred is doing stupid stuff like trying to get up on that table with my dirt bike. But imagine that's like a big log or that's a waterfall. And then, so you see a mountain and you're like, hey, let's go to the top of that mountain today. So it's like all four of the guys were there. We all take different trails and see who gets there the quickest.
Interesting. So are these mountains like pretty steep or?
They're steep. They have trees, ruts, rivers, rocks. Sometimes it's desert. So there's just like ravines, cliffs, just drops. And you just have to like navigate the terrain, figure out how to get up and see who gets there first. So it's a lot of fun.
So are you wearing a helmet, like leather jackets or like some type of safety equipment or anything like that?
The main safety equipment that we do is boots. That's the most important one. Knee pads, elbow pads. Half the time I don't wear them anymore. Helmet for sure. You don't want a leather jacket because you'll die of heat because you're physically trying to move this 250-pound motorcycle up obstacles. Sometimes like you don't make it and you have to like pull it up and move it and stuff. So you get real hot. So just you have like jerseys and things like that. So I was practicing with some friends by my house. One of our favorite places to play around with is a wash because the way that the water cuts through a river, like every time there's a storm, it changes because like it might undercut one bank or it might move a rock that used to be up here down here. So now the obstacle is completely different. So I was going out of sand because usually the sandy rivers is a sandy wash. And then there's like a little cliff. It wasn't perfectly vertical. It's maybe like more like this. And what you're supposed to do is you approach it slow and then you accelerate, do a wheelie, hit the cliff. So if you hit the cliff and then the suspension basically hits up here and pops you up. And it's something we do all the time. So I didn't make it, which is also pretty normal. I don't make it all the time. So if now I'm up like 6 feet with the motorcycle falling backwards. So all you do is you just jump backwards.
Okay.
And then like the sand is soft. So you just land on the sand and then the bike kind of falls over. when it fell over this time, like I kind of crunched on a rock because for some reason all the rocks got pushed against this cliff.
Okay.
So I tried it again. You know, if you can't make it once, you gotta
go again.
So more throttle, more power, more compression. So went up and I almost made it. And I was like, really, do I struggle to make it up or do I just do it again? So I was like, I just did it again. So I jumped off the bike again. And this time I was like, man, I remembered the bike kind of cracked on that rock. So I went to the left and I held the motorcycle up. And I jumped back, grabbed the motorcycle, swung it backwards. But what I didn't realize was there's a big cement chunk right where I was landing. So my left leg landed fully locked, knee locked. I landed on my heel because I landed kind of on the edge of it. So all of my weight jumping down plus the motorcycle in my arms went straight into this rock that I wasn't ready for. I thought the ground was 8 inches lower. So my ankle literally shattered my leg bones. It got pushed up probably 3 inches. So that's how it broke. I busted the socket and my foot kind of went up.
Do we have a picture of that, right, Jose?
Yes, sir.
All right, so
this is
what the heck is that?
The one in the middle.
Yeah, what's the one in the middle? What are those things coming out of the foot? Or
Everything that has a yellow tip is actually screwed into my bone. So the two ones on my shin are pinning that hardware to the tibia, and then the one through my heel is a solid piece. So that piece just got drilled straight through. And then you have these gray bars that are going from one place to another. So the first operation was to regain the crushed vertical distance. So what they do is they grab that bar through my heel and they yank on it till the foot gets to be
straight.
So the foot is straight. And then they set those bars so that it holds it. So they use the bone on the shin and the bone and the pin through the heel to hold the foot in the right orientation. So as you know, bodies are incredibly strong.
Yeah.
So during the recovery process, if they didn't do that, anytime my leg spasms, my calf pulled, it would re-bring the crush, it would pull my foot towards my knee. So they're trying to keep the distance from my knee and ankle to be the original distance. So that's what that hardware does.
On the right side. Oh, the right side?
No, the left side.
The left side.
So
okay.
The left side is those pins. You can see them on right there, and then you can't quite see the heel one.
The heel one's going horizontal.
Correct. So that's the stage 1. So I was on my back for 10 days because everything swells up. So they have to wait for the swelling to go down before they can cause more trauma. And that's going to be the video that we're going to look at now.
This one, right?
Okay.
No, you can go on the other one, yeah. So this video is my surgeon, who happens to be the best ankle surgeon around. His name is Dr. Patton. If you guys want to look him up on Instagram, I think he's called the Ankle Fixer.
Where's he at?
If you want to pause it right here real quick, that's perfect. So he's at Arrowhead Orthopedics.
Okay.
So he operates out of the Redlands Hospital, Riverside, and their own center over in Redlands. So basically, if you think of this like an extraction rod, see those little metal wires? He drilled these wires in to kind of pin every single little piece of bone in the right orientation before he can then put a plate and then screw it in without all of his puzzle work getting messed up. Because if you can imagine, if you put a plate where all of those broken pieces are, and then you just start screwing, the broken bone will get pushed out of the way.
Right? It's going to move.
Right. So those pins are to hold the pieces of bone together. So then he can then put the plate on to then put the screws in to hold everything. So you can hit play again. So I just it's kind of like a root tip elevator, like where you're trying to
just kind of push it in the right area.
Except he's physically drilled through. So all of these is like the different angles, and then he has clamps, and he's just saying like, hey, that piece wasn't perfect, so I had to add a piece here. So you'll just slowly see hardware start getting added. So I have like 6 plates now.
You have 6 plates in your
in my leg, in my ankle. So that's holding it together.
I see. So
I have 25 screws. All those wires came out. So who knows how many holes I have through my ankle of just fixating stuff.
But that'll
that'll all fill in.
Integrate or whatever.
Yep. And then look at that joint space. See how it's like a perfect arc? He did great because that was all crushed. And then he had to put one on my heel. So he had to cut 4 places, front, each side, and the back. And then the most important part is that the joint space is there so that the cartilage will form and all that stuff. And he did a great
Cartilage.
job.
Interesting.
Yeah, because or else it's just arthritis. He says there's a little bone chunk. Who cares? He's just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
And that's.
How long does one of these surgeries take? Or like how long were you? That's phase 1, right?
No, that's the final.
That's the final.
Yeah, and then I got 85 staples.
To close up the soft tissue.
Yeah.
Okay. And they take them out after, or is it like resorbable? Or?
No, they got to go take them out. They don't numb you. They just have to.
So you have to.
That's, it's funny in dentistry. Right? We have to take. We take such good care of our patients. We get them numb. We make sure they're comfortable. Yeah. We do all this stuff. Like, man, they don't care. They're just like, get out of here.
So how long did one of those surgeries take? Like, how long were you under for?
I was in the operating room 5.5 hours. He was working on me for around 3.5.
Jeez.
So yeah.
That's crazy. And that's probably what he does every day, huh?
He is specifically an ankle specialist. So he's like the best person to do this. When he's on call, he's an orthopedic surgeon, so he can do, general trauma like the bone stuff in this. But if you have an ankle specific problem, he's the one you go to.
Man, see, that's why you didn't go into medical school, because that's just a long surgery for any of us, right?
Yeah, I didn't go to medical school because I realized my ADHD was way better suited to dentistry. I couldn't do that for that long.
So you have a family. You have Shauna. She's a blue belt at One Jiu-Jitsu. She's really, really good. She loves jiu-jitsu, and then your kids do jiu-jitsu also.
They do.
And they're very disciplined, and we love having them at the gym. How do you think, what do you think jiu-jitsu did to, you've seen your wife kind of become a jiu-jitsu artist. What do you see the difference? I always wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference is my wife's time with me was always in the evening. We put the kids to bed. We get to watch our TV show. We'd hang out, talk, eat, to do whatever. And really, ever since jiu-jitsu, I don't get to hang out with her that much because now she has to go to bed at 8:30 or 9, and because she has to be up at 5,
go train,
to do a train, and then she goes to the jiu-jitsu class. I think it's 6 to 7 a.m.
6 to 7,
3 days a week, and then she'll do doubles. She'll go in the evening too. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
it gives you more free time.
No.
Do you see anything changing with her character, or taking risks, or
Yeah. So Shauna was always a person that used to take risks and do a bunch of stuff. And she had neck surgery and had a bunch of rods put in her neck because she had a tumor. And that changed her a lot because her being afraid of being in that pain or messing that up was a big deal. So a lot of the activities that we used to do, including dirt biking, hiking, a bunch of stuff, we would do just at a less intense type thing. Mm-hmm. And jiu-jitsu has definitely brought her back to well beyond what she used to be. Now she loves the battle, the getting better, the technical learning, and then physically you have to keep up with that.
Yeah.
Right? You can't just be a mental jiu-jitsu player.
Yeah.
Learning more technical side. I'm talking your thing, so I shouldn't be talking.
Yeah, you're right. It's something where I always say, I could give you the words to the karaoke song, but doesn't mean you can sing the song right?
So she's been putting in so much more work physically. She's changed how she eats. She changed how she sleeps, how she recovers. So it's been a big, big deal. And then I think, starting this jiu-jitsu thing, she started her own business. Right? She went from working at the hospital. She's a physician. She was the medical director at Redlands at the wound care thing. And then she was like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. So I think that risk taking went beyond the physical. Hey, I got it. It gives you confidence and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I remember her saying I said, I'm just going to open up my practice. And jiu-jitsu had a big part of that.
Yep.
Because now you kind of see reality, life is short, right? Life should be fun. Life should be about taking risks. And you don't want to be older and say, hey, I never took this risk. Like, why didn't I do this? This is my prime, and we have to get better today. It's not like I have to be healthy to start going to the gym. I have to be strong to go to jiu-jitsu. No, jiu-jitsu will take you there. No, the gym will get you healthy. So I'm really happy that it can help her out in her life here.
I really like, Rob, your logo, right?
Yeah,
because life is about growth, and growth is about improvement.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah,
and if you don't aspire to continually grow, it's like a business. If you're not growing, you're dying. So if you decide that you're going to do the same thing every day, like, hey, that's great, but that's zero growth. Like you're technically dying, because where you could have been, if you had done different decisions, you're not there anymore. You're on a different curve. So if you keep on trying, like, you will be different in 2 years, 3 years. And these are things that like take time. And at our age, we're starting to get old, but you start to see the fruits of some of these investments of discipline, of doing stuff for a long time, eating well for 5 years, or exercising. Or you also see maybe I should have eaten a little better. Maybe I should have exercised more. Like you see the results over time now.
Yeah, I mean, when we go see our patients, like, we see them every 6 months. So when we see them again, we're like, man, you just aged like crazy, or man, you look really good. So sometimes you'll see a 60-year-old and they look like they're 40. We're like, wow, what are you doing different? Or you'll see someone who's 60 and they look like they're 90. I'm like, man, what happened, right? So life is kind of like that. Your leaves are going to wither, and your leaf will change colors, but how fast is it going to change colors? And I think for all of us, we are all going to see that day, and we don't want to be like, man, I wish I spent more time with my kids, or man, I wish I went for that, opened up that, idea that could have helped other people. So that being said, how many practices do you have?
I bought in 6. I have 4 now.
Yeah, 4 now. So take me through that process, because I have one practice. It's a big practice, but like, I don't think I can handle more than that. Like, how did you grow to 4 practices or 6 practices? And how did you end up selling 2, and why did you do that?
So when I followed my wife to Bakersfield, because she did her residency over there, and dentistry was so different over there. It was so great. Big practices. You didn't have a ton of specialists. It was people don't want to move there because there's a perception of the Central Valley, except it's a great place to be. There's natural resources are incredible. There's a bunch of wealth between the oil and ag. Like, it's actually a great place to be. I graduated. Yeah, okay. I graduated in 2008, and that was during that crash.
Okay.
So finding a job, was very hard during that time
for a new grad too.
For a new grad, yeah. But I was able to find a bunch of different jobs, and I found 2 guys that were like my mentors, you would say. And each of them ran their practices very differently. One of them ran one practice. He stopped accepting new patients after like 10 years because he got too busy, didn't want to expand. The other guy, every 10 years, would remodel his office, take his employees on a cruise. He would got another office in Santa Barbara. Get this, I would ride my motorcycle to work. It would take me like 48 minutes. He would hop in his car in Santa Barbara, go to the airport, hop in his jet, fly to Bakersfield, hop in his car, and go to the new practice, and he would be faster than me. Because it was like a 6-minute drive to the airport, a 12-minute flying to Bakersfield, and then like 4 minutes to the office.
Jeez.
And
talk about efficiency.
And he had his practice in Santa Barbara in here. So I just learned like the mentality of expansion instead of just like the single. And they both did amazing patient care. Patients loved both of them. It was just interesting to see the drive difference. So that was very helpful. So when I moved back to Loma Linda, Sean and I wanted to have kids. Our parents both live in Loma Linda. We always thought we were going to go live by the beach or do something, but family and community is really important. We grew up here, so that was like a one of our better decisions I think that we've made. I looked around for practices, and there was either like $1.5 million practices, which were like 12 ops and, all of this stuff. And as a grad that only had 3 or 4 years of experience, like I was a little bit worried. And looking back, I wish I had just gone for that. Or I could find these offices that were like 200,000 or 300,000. They were tiny, and I could work like 2 or 3 days. So I was like, okay, I bought that one.
The 2-3 op.
It was a 3-op practice. It was like $350,000 to buy it. And then I still was an associate for someone else, and then I would work at my own office. It was only had 2.5 days of business. So I would just open those 2.5 days, and I was slowly growing, and it was great. Another practice came for sale that was open 3 days a week. So then I bought that one. So now I had 2 offices, grown both of them. Pretty soon I had to hire an associate because I was too busy. And so I tried to keep on expanding and doing that thing. And then soon I saw another office that was like undervalued. So I bought that, grew it, and that's kind of been my business model.
So you grew it to 6.
I bought 2 offices and merged them. So it was like a patient sale.
Okay.
So like I bought the whole office, but I ended up just moving the patients over.
Oh, I see.
That was probably the best investments I've done.
So I hear a lot of doctors doing that. Sometimes they won't buy if they find a retiring dentist, if they're lucky enough or if they're blessed enough, maybe the doctor will just give them, it's called goodwill. Or you can buy the goodwill off of the doctor. Like how much did you pay for the goodwill? And how many patients was that?
So it was a per chart on one of them. I just paid them per chart. However many patients came over, I gave them X amount per patient that stayed beyond 6 months, and then a different number for the ones that stayed beyond 12 months. Because I was trying to incentivize. So if they hear anything, they talk anything, they try to get them to stay, right?
So because there is attrition, right? When they see a new doctor.
Yeah, if you get 40%, 50% of the patients, that'll be a great deal.
Really, 50%. That seems low to me.
Well, if you get a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, I'm retiring. Now you guys should go to this office." A lot of the patients will go, and give you a chance, but a lot of the patients will be like, "I'm going to just look for my own dentist at this point. Why should I go see that doctor?" So, like, your job is to try to incentivize them to go see you. So this last one that I did, what I did is I bought it, and then I brought the owner on for 6 months so that the patients, and when the letter got sent to the patients, it was just a move. Hey, we're moving locations. We're going to this upgraded space, more technology, all of this stuff. So the patients came, saw the old dentist and saw the new dentist, and that was a much better transition. We kept a lot more patients.
Yeah. So how did you track how much money, how did you track the patients, and then how did the payment go, since you're saying, okay, so XYZ, I'll pay for XYZ patients within a 6-month time frame? How did you track all of that?
So there was a purchase price that purchased as assets, charts, brand, all of that stuff, like a down payment. And then there's a per chart number.
Got it.
So then we every patient that comes in as a new patient, but you can, in our software, you can put referred from, and we just referred from Myers.
Okay.
So we can run a report that says how many Myers patients did we have come in this month, and then you can run a production off that and all that kind of thing.
Well, that's pretty easy. Do you use Open Dental?
I use Open Dental, but I'm thinking of moving off of it.
Why is that? What don't you like about Open Dental?
I love Open Dental.
Okay. Why would you want to escape from it?
If you're doing a single office, I would totally do that. But right now, for example, I have an endodontist that works at my Redlands office. So if my Yucaipa office refers me a root canal to my Redlands office, there's no way to just email the chart.
Okay.
They have to come in as a brand new dentist, a brand new patient. So it skews all my data. So now I have a brand new patient that's really not a brand new patient. The patient has to do forms twice. They get pissed off about that. Then they have to come see that, and then we have to keep track of all the little details.
So you hear that, guys? Open Dental is built for one practice. You're probably going to go to a cloud-based software, I'm assuming then.
Open Dental has a bunch of solutions. There's Open Dental clinics, so you can get a main database. But there's things that go with that. Open Dental also just launched Open Dental Cloud, but a lot of the plug and plays like Dental Intelligence and things like that don't work with that yet.
Okay.
yet. There's a bunch of new companies. Have you heard of 12?
No.
Oh, 12 is a fun one. They actually want to take your revenue cycle management. They want to take all of your billing, and they just want you to pay 3% of whatever insurance checks you get, which is a lot of money. But they will
That's
do.
what I pay right now.
Okay. So they'll give you a dental software. They'll give you everything else with that. So that was a good. We're looking at CareStack also.
CareStack.
But if you really think about it, I'm at the end of my IT cycle. So now I have to buy 4 servers and 42 computers. So that's going to be 120, 130 grand of just hard IT cost.
Yeah.
Or I go cloud-based. I get rid of the servers, just update whatever stations need to have minimum security for like all the new HIPAA laws that are coming out at the end of the year. And my hardware investment just went down because I'm moving everything to the cloud.
Does that make sense? I see a lot of like dentists on Instagram. They get caught up, and there's like, oh yeah, I just spent like $1 million or 1.5 on the build out of my office. What do you think about that? To me, that sounds kind of crazy. Like that's like going into the model home and just buying everything and not thoroughly doing your homework, even though it looks like you're doing your homework. What do you think about that? That's my point of view. I don't. Like $1.5 million practice seems like an overshoot to me because you're going to be paying like a $15,000 bill a month, and it's going to take a long time to pay that out. And your ROI investment, it's always about ROI. It's going to take a very long time for you to recover. And so if you're doing a $1.5 million build out, why don't you just have 3 or 4 practices? I don't know, that just generates more revenue. What do you think? Is that why you did 3
or
or
how
4?
much more patience would you have had for $1.5 million in marketing?
That's true.
For me, to answer your question, is what is your who's your target patient
Audience, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're in Beverly Hills and you need to serve like the fancy celebs and all of this stuff, and you're charging, you're out of network for everything. You're charging your super high fees, and you're doing like custom type luxury thing. Sometimes you have to do that build out to be in that. But if you're like one of my offices in Moreno Valley or Highland or Yucaipa, and I'm not saying anything bad about that community, it's just that I don't think that they're going to care if when they go to the bathroom, if the counter is, quartz, or if it's like a Home Depot, like that looks good and is cast. I don't know whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not a counter, but like I don't think they're going to be like, this dentist, wow, oh, did you feel the cushions? Like, so for me, I agree with you. I'm cheap. The business, you got to be as cheap as you can because you're trying to make profit. And
it's frugal. I mean, you're counting. You're counting.
Yes. Like, does my dollar spent on this counter actually make me more money in the business? And I think the answer is no in that situation. Yeah. So I would do the most basic. It would look very nice, as clean as possible, But so, you could probably do instead of 1.5, you could probably do it for like 400.
For sure. And so now, you said something about these patients really like the technology, and in my point of view, what I think is if you're going to make an investment, you have to wow the patient. You have to speed up efficiencies, which is going to drive up production and lower costs. If those questions are answered yes, you have to do it. But if those answers are question no or maybe, you really have to think about it, right? But I always think technology is a must in every single practice because that's going to help you differentiate yourself from your competition, because we're competing against doctors who don't use any technology, and that's an easy one. You can outcompete them. What pieces of technology do you have that really helps you be efficient and drive production up and lower costs? What'd you say?
I think technology is a personality thing. I think you and I agree on the technology thing, but there's a lot of dentists who don't want to do the technology thing. They're like, hey, I'm going to retire in 5 years. So they convince their patients that all this technology stuff sucks and the old way is still better. So like you can still convince your patient of whatever you tell them most of the time. Right?
Yeah.
So for me personally, like I've had scanners and Cerax and all of that stuff for like the last, I want to say 10 years or 9 years. And I say for the first 5 years, it was a big deal because I was like one of the only dentists that had that. But now if we go to any new office, every office has a scanner. So like that technology competing, it's like almost becoming like a requirement.
Now it's a requirement. Yeah, exactly. So if you don't have it, now you're just...
If the patient is savvy. Like I think the key thing that we have to figure out as dental business people is for a long time, a dentist was the place that was supposed to feel friendly. They knew your name when you walked in, all of that stuff. So many dental offices now are corporate.
Yeah.
So now patients' first experience and expectation of what dentistry should be is corporate. So when they come into my office, and I'm sure it's the same with you, they're like, wow, you talk to me? Like like someone called me by my name going back, like you asked me about my family. Like I've never had anyone do that before, but that was like expected. So what I'm going with that is some of those patients are going to go to an office that maybe treats them well and be like, a temporary? Like, what do you mean a temporary?
Yeah.
Like, so as that market shifts, that's going to become a bigger deal for that technology.
And also the community you're in. Some people won't expect that. Some people they just want the cheapest and they don't care. But some people want to be treated well and want the quality of work. So I mean, just like anything else, I try to position myself to be the best and give them the best technology, give them the best thing in their mouth that they can. So that's kind of how I run my practice. How hard is it? Like, do you have one office manager or two office managers? Like, how do you govern these 4 practices, and what's the best way for a person's trying to start a DSO?
Yeah. So my goal is to have 10 to 15 practices, right? I'm at a standstill right now because I'm trying to actually have systems that are repeatable and I can track the metrics across all the offices. I have one really high performing office. It's the one I work at, but then I'm also there. I'm the one leading everyone. Like I have a great team. They know what to do. Like the expectations are there. Like how do we, and the other offices do, like there's one office that does a great job at one thing, another office that does a job at another thing. But like, how do I get all the other offices to perform at that same level when I'm not there? Right?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
So I thought I had systems, but I learned that systems is something that is repeatable, easily trainable, and trackable. And when you do that, I don't truly have great systems. So what I'm doing right now is literally writing standard operating procedures, SOPs. Hey, you're brand new here. You're gonna be a front desk. Your first job is just how to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Here, read this little thing. This is how you answer the phone. This is this is what you say. This is like smile when you talk. Like some training thing that is just the most basic, easiest thing that in like 5 minutes they know how to answer the phone. So that's how like every single task is has to be that basic of instructions.
So I work with a group of business people, and then we're reading this book called Scaling Up.
I just got The Science of Scaling?
It's called Scaling Up.
Oh, okay.
But they really like dig into this. It's hire slow and fire fast.
Oh, yeah.
But before I was like hire fast because I need to fill up the seats, and then fire slow because I'm like, dude, I don't want to be having more work and stuff like that. What's your philosophy? And I know because you have 4 or 5 practices, who does the hiring, and how long do you keep someone before you fire them?
It's definitely been an evolution. Like at the beginning, I'm always faulted, and you can ask my managers about this. Like I used to keep people way too long because I'm like, I want to make sure I've done every single possible thing So it's their choice finally. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I've done all the training. I've done everything. I've explained stuff. I've given them a chance, writing them up. So I still do that. I just do it a lot faster.
Okay.
So I agree with you. I feel like there are people that you can train, and if you just give them the clear expectations,
Yeah.
will get better. So you do need to fire fast when you know for sure it's not going to work. But if you're not sure, I still think it's okay to hang on to them for just a little bit, but just have very clear things like, hey, in 60 days, this task you have to be proficient at. This, I can't see any more of this. It's like very simple things, and let's revisit this in 60 days.
Yeah, and for all the new business owners, this is one thing that in any industry that when we talk about is very important. If the employees are not clear of what their duties are, it's going to be your problem. So what we do is I do check-ins with every single employee once a week. And I ask them, hey, how are you doing? How's life? And one of the questions that I started asking is, what would you do differently if this was your practice?
That's good.
And then they're going to give me their feedback. And then one of them said, dude, I wish I would be trained at so-and-so. Oh, so you don't know how to do this. Oh, then it's my fault if you never got it done.
Exactly.
Right? So we have to be clear, and it might not show up on your systems manual. It might not show up in your morning meetings, but we have to be clear with all that. And once our office managers understand that, and we can have the quality care check-ins, have them do the quality care check-ins, that's when we're able to build systems.
And accountability.
Because it's a little bit of like a culture thing too, right? Oh, Dr. Sabate always checked in on me. I should be checking in on Mary. And then as you get another office manager, oh yeah, Mary should be checking in on everybody. And you build that culture of accountability, that everyone is on the same team. And when I say fire fast, we call it the what do we call it? The onboard terrorist. There's a guy that's going to be in there that acts one way when you're there, but when you're not there, like sabotages everything when you're not there. It's just a bad potato of the sack. And those are the people you just have to let go. Like, I just let go of someone yesterday, and man, Jose was like, hey man, how'd it go with that firing process? Because he felt bad. I was like, oh man, it went great. Like, I had a breath of fresh air knowing that I got that done, because even though I had more work, the day was smoother. It was incredible. I know it would be hard in the beginning, but I just can move on. He can move on, and you know, we can become better people.
So I was trying to scale real fast. We were doing some, expansions. We thought that if we brought in all these key players, we would be able to hit certain targets. And unfortunately, we didn't meet those goals. So I had to do a big reorganization. Like, I had to let go of a dentist, 2 hygienists, a couple assistants, and I did it all in like 1 or 2 days. So it was
clean house.
Yeah, it was sad that I had to do it, but it was incredible because we did that, and then we had to move people over. So I got rid of this dentist, so then I had to move this over to fill this spot. Like, it was this like coordinated thing, and it's been very interesting. I need to do better on the check-ins, because now every time I have a meeting with someone, they think they're getting let go. Yeah. So like, everyone is worried, but in many ways, everyone is working better. Yeah. Everyone is working harder. Like, they were like, man, they're not messing around. Like, we got to actually start hitting these targets. Yeah. And so that was very interesting how it changed the behavior of all the employees, both making them worried, but also improving their efficiency.
It's a fine balance between being like a Hitler versus the Dalai Lama, right? Like, there's 2 ways to lead a team, but you kind of have to, like, your employees are not your friends. You have to, there's a hierarchy, and you have to let them know what they do. But at the same time, you can't tell them all of a sudden, oh, you have so-and-so to do unexpectedly. Have the morning meeting, let them know what's going to happen, have them involved, so then they feel like they're on the team, but at the same time, keep them accountable for that work. And that's what being a boss is. It's like taking care of kids, right? It's like if I have an employee and I wouldn't let my son around him or my daughter, that employee needs to go, right? Like, if I can't trust you to be with my kids, like, you're probably not going to be on my team, right? Like, that's the kind of, I run a smaller practice, but I kind of have that philosophy.
I've gone back and forth on that so much. I'm much more extroverted. My personality is like, if everyone sits down and talks, we can all become friends. And if we become friends, everything's going to go perfect. Everyone will get along.
Yeah, but it's not like that.
It's not like that. So, like, I went from being friends to everyone to then the pendulum the other way, where I'm not going to be friends with anyone. And now I'm on the, like, being friends with them again. But there's very clear boundaries. Like, so I'm okay now being friends with my employees. And they've taught me, there's a couple of key ones that have taught me that I can be friends with them as long as you have the clear expectations of, hey, we can be friends, but this still is a work relationship. Like, I will happily go to your kid's birthday party. I will give them a gift. I'll sponsor them. I will do certain things like that. But you still got to do your job.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, if you try leveraging the friendship to get away from doing your job, that's not where it works. So I've gotten a little bit better about that.
Yeah, you're right. Keep, business, you can still be friends.
And I think that's a great lesson for managers, because new managers, if you're ever in charge of, like, people, your job is to get people to work at their highest potential. And people will use that relationship to get away. It's just like as kids. Like, if you look at your siblings, or when you were a kid, you're always looking for those little things, and that's just human nature. It sucks.
Yeah.
You asked me a long time ago how I do everything. So I have a director of operations. Her job is to make sure that we're creating these systems, and now we're putting them on every office. And then each office has, like, a lead or a manager that then does it to their team.
Yeah, so it's like a hierarchy of the system here. So now let's talk about...
I still rather be a dentist, though, by the way. My most favorite time is just working on the patient, chatting, doing a new patient exam. How's the patient doing? How, what's been going on these 6 weeks, like 8 or 6 months. I am a dentist first, businessman second.
And that's what most dentists, because we're like artists. We love what we do.
Yeah.
Like, I started delivering my own arches. I'm like, oh man, this is really nice. Like, I'm like a perfectionist and stuff. And I love that part, because it is an art. It's you do get that fulfillment of helping someone smile. And so let's go ahead and then what do you do for personal growth besides break your leg?
Yeah, every year, December, we do a 1 and 3 year plan with Shauna.
Okay.
Like, what are we going to do differently next year?
Okay.
What are new things that we're going to try, skills, etc.
So it's a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a daily thing or a weekly thing?
I mean, usually that year one kind of gives you the direction.
Okay.
And then you do your daily or whatever routine for that. I'm very ADHD, so I'm not very good at daily routines and all of that.
You're running around with your head cut off.
Yeah, or I do this for a while and I do this for a while, and then, so, like, but as long as I directionally am correct, you can go like this and still get somewhere. Yeah. It's when you just go back and forth and don't go anywhere. So I think that helps me.
So you said you wanted 15 practices. How soon are you going to get to that?
I'm 45. I think that I need to be there by, it'd be in a perfect world 53, but at 55 I need to be there.
Okay, so about 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 55, that means that would be a good year to just to
wind down.
Yeah. Just manage.
So we're gonna do some rapid fire questions, and this is all about getting 1% better.
Okay.
So, what's one habit everyone should adopt?
Reading.
Reading. So, what's the best book you've read recently?
I tend to favor science fiction. Science fiction provides social commentary without the usual stereotypes and hiccups that people get. Because if you're talking about an alien race or something that's not on Earth, you're not going to be worried about, hey, the unfairness or racism or this or that. But you do learn about, oh man, like that was ethically wrong or moral. So you actually learn a lot about that stuff.
So, which book?
Man. There's not which book, man.
Okay.
So Dune, the Dune series.
Dune series. Okay.
We got that new movie out, so that's very easy for people to go read that book.
Okay, so Dune, recommend it.
Yeah.
I'll read it. Biggest lesson you have from dentistry?
How you do one thing is how you do everything. Like we talk about these systems and processes for our business. Well, when we do a filling, guess what we do? We do step 1, step 2. Step 3, like we do that every time because if we follow that step, that filling is going to go perfect. The patient's not going to be in pain and you're going to have a predictable outcome. So like it pissed me off that I had to go to a business course to learn that I have to have that same system for people. But like that has been my biggest learning and as a transition to business. Like, no, there's nothing that I'm learning in business class that I didn't know already. It's just different names, different that. It's like, this is how you already know how to do this. Just same steps for people, same thing for this. Like if you answer the phone the same way, people are going to schedule at the same rate. If you talk to your patients and present treatment in a certain way, they're going to accept at a certain rate. Like you can teach that. That's predictable and that's something that can be followed. So that is my big goal right now is how do I do that to the other dentist? So I'm basically turning into a dental school instructor, which is actually great because now how can I get them to be closer to what I'm doing? And it's not that I'm the best, but when you're the owner, you're invested 100%.
That's a good lesson. Biggest lesson from fatherhood?
Man, you can't treat everyone the same. Like my boy and my daughter are so different. And you try to be fair and equal and treat them the same. And that's you got to treat them equal. That doesn't mean the same.
Yeah, I treat my son and daughter completely different. I agree. And what's the biggest lesson you
And
had?
I have a different role than my wife.
Then you're, yeah.
And so my role is a dad role. It's a very different role. And the way I talk to them, what we talk about, the intensity on certain things, and that makes her uncomfortable. And she has a very different role too.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And I think that's why the Bible is so important because they talk about that. There's a hierarchy, the husband, and you cannot take advantage of it, right? But there is the husband, there is the wife, then there is the kids. Once that order is broken, then you may see some potential problems. But everyone's got to respect.
Do you want to be the one to tell my wife that?
Well, I don't say anything, but the thing is, if you have a gospel center, and I think they all know that somewhere deep down. I mean, if you're in a Christian household, right? Because we grew up like that, right? God, the bride, God, the church, all that stuff, and it's in the Bible. It's in there. So once that structure is broken, we could see some problems. But that's like a whole nother talk here, and it could rub some people the wrong way. But
I think at the end of the day, what you're saying is there's leadership.
There's leadership,
right?
involved.
And you have to have, just like in a business, you have to have meetings with your partner that don't include the kids. So then you can roll things out. Like, yeah, you got to do that stuff. And you're all on the same page.
And also, the kids see the dad a little bit different than they see the mom. So we have to use that hierarchy
100%.
in a different, because everyone's a mama's boy. Right? Like, I love my mom different than I love my dad. But my dad can talk to me in a way that I won't, I respect my dad a different way than I respect my mom.
Yeah.
It's
great.
weird. And that's just human nature, right? But anyway, what is the biggest lesson from your accident?
Be better. I suck. Like I literally, I've done that move hundreds of times. And I just tried to save the bike because I heard that little crunch when it fell the right way. And instead, I crunched myself. So ditch the bike. You can buy a new bike. Like I could buy a new piece. Like take care of yourself first. That's my lesson.
What's your definition of success?
Yeah, that's a great one. Me personally, having the time to do what I want. I don't care about the money.
Me too. And if your kids watch this podcast 20 years from now, what's the one piece of wisdom you'd want them to remember?
I think my kids are very good at having fun, and that's wonderful. Having fun is hard work. So right now, kids have fun because the parents put in the hard work, which is great. Someday that transfers to you. Don't forget to have fun, even though it's hard work.
All right, so we're going to wrap up here. We want to thank Dr. Gerard Sabate. Appreciate his time and his knowledge and his wisdom and experience of having 6 practices going down to 4, his struggles, sharing that with us so we can learn and, hopefully we don't be in the same situations that he's in. But what's your practice name? And if there's patients in Redlands, how do they reach you? And
I'm not a very good part. This is the worst part for me as a business owner. I need to be better at plugging all that stuff. My Redlands practice, it's Cajon Dental. We actually won Best Dentist last year. We got voted by the community, so I got the whole plaque and the newspaper article and all that stuff. Nice. So it's good stuff. We also have an office up in Yucaipa, Centerpoint Dental. They're great. Highland Dental Arts up in Highland, and Sunnymead Dental in Moville. All great offices, good doctors and good people. So, right. And I'd like to say one thing on that. Yeah. You can live every year the same way twice, but you've really just lived the same year. You've just done it 2 times in a row. Right? Yeah. So my big question on that yearly thing is, how am I going to make this next year a brand new and different and new year? Because if you do the same thing every year, it's not a new year.
If you do the same thing, you'll never change.
Yeah. So thank you, Rob. I really appreciate you getting me out of the house and getting me motivated to come here. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I wish you well.
Thank you so much. So we're going to wrap up here. Thanks for watching. And if you like this, just subscribe, follow us, and follow us for more content. If you want to get better, listen to us on your way to work. Listen to us on the way home. And thanks for watching. Oos.
1% better every day. 1% better, come with me. Built with a purpose, made to rise, created by God.